Ashley. Today we are going to talk about some community signs. So, as usual, when you see Miss Ashley without a mask on at school, it is only because I'm in a room all by myself with the door shut. But have no fear, like everyone else here, we have our masks. So, today we're going to do a little bit of a matching game with community signs. Some of the signs are safety signs, and some of the signs are just common community signs, which is really great. So, as you can see, we have our big sign in the middle, on the middle screen, right? And to the right, we have three options. So, what we'll be able to do today together is look at our sign, talk about it a little bit, and then match it with which one is the same sign on the right side. So let's go.
Match the sign.
It says match the sign. So I don't know if... So right here, the words on the bottom of the sign say bike route, right? So this symbol might look very familiar to all of us. We have many bikes at Cornerstone, and I know many of us love to use them. And even if you don't use the bikes, you see your friends and your family and the community out in the world using bikes, right? You pedal, there's wheels. This bike route sign is two different colors. What are these two different colors? Can you see them? Can someone describe them to you? I see one. The bike and the words are the color white. That makes it very easy to see for us, right? Because the background color is darker and it's dark green. Did you guess right? Good. So, what this sign means is there is a really nice spot for you, your family, your friends to ride the bike. Because many times if you see a bike out in the road, bikes are obviously allowed to go on the roads in the safe area, designated area. But sometimes with cars everywhere, you all know, it might be a little unsafe. So many communities have just places, routes, or trails or paths for just the bike. So let's look on this. So now that we talked about this middle sign, let's look on the signs on the right. Let's go on the bottom. This says, do not enter. Ooh, I think we know this sign pretty well. Do not enter. We see this sign in our community. We see this sign at school. You might even see this sign around your house or in your house. This sign means if you see this sign, you cannot go in there. Most of the time, it's unsafe, right? We're not just telling you not to go because we're little meanies, but really it's unsafe. Are these the same signs? You're right, they're not. Two reasons. The first reason is they don't have the same words. And the second reason is their colors are different. The do not enter sign does have white letters, but there's a black background. So I don't think it's a match. Let's go to the middle one. This middle one we've definitely seen this in the community. It's little stick people crossing the road, right? It's also two colors. It's black and yellow. Is that the same? Is black and yellow sign the same as a white and green sign? No, you're right. It's not the same. So, these aren't the same signs. But the sign that's yellow and black means there's a crosswalk there, right? People are safe to cross. So that's a very helpful sign in our community because If we don't know where to cross the road, it could be very unsafe. So I think it's this top sign that has the same letters, the same bike, and the same green and white. Let's try.
Match the sign.
We were correct. Yeah. I wish there was a little bit more music with that, but okay. So many of you know what this letter is. What do you think it is? It has two straight lines coming down and one line in the middle connecting them. You're right, it's an H. This is a very large white H. So it's a white H. And the color in the back is what? You all know this. Blue. You're right. So it's a white and a blue sign. So let's think. There are many things in our community that start with the letter H. But what's an important thing that starts with the letter H that maybe we would need to know about? We would need to know where it is. A hot dog stand? I mean, I would love to know where hot dog stands are, but I don't think it's a hot dog stand. A hamburger store? I don't think a hamburger store. You're right, a hospital. This is the sign that lets us know that there's a hospital there. Or there or in the area. Many times this sign will have an arrow with it or a little bit more directions to guide you towards where the hospital is. We all know why we need to go to the hospital. It's many times if we don't feel good or someone else doesn't feel good. Miss Ashley's going to have to go to the hospital when she has her baby. So there are good times. Hospitals aren't scary, so that's not what I want you to know. Because there's a lot of good things that happen in the hospital. A lot of people feel better when they go. But a lot of people do need to know where it is because it's important for their health. So let's start at the top. Oh, what is this symbol? This symbol, I'll describe it a little bit. So it's white on this sign, but it flies in the air. And many times when we're outside, we stop and we look up in the sky because we hear these things and we can see them. What do you think it is? We're outside and we could hear it and we have to look up in the sky. You're right, it's an airplane. This sign is similar but different than our hospital sign. It's similar because it tells us where something is. This will tell us where an airport is. People go to airports to pick up people who've come back home or come from a vacation, or if we're lucky enough to go on vacation or go somewhere else, this is when we go on an airplane. Have you ever been on an airplane? Miss Ashley's been on an airplane, but not for a very long time. So it almost feels like forever ago. So, the bottom here, the middle here, this is tricky because this symbol, which is a red circle and a white, it could look a little bit like a cross in the middle. It definitely has to do with our health, right? So if we see this sign, we know that we can go to that area to get help if we don't feel good, like a first aid, right? But the tricky part is this doesn't tell us a hospital is near. It tells us there might be supplies or there might be a person who could help us if we don't feel good, but it's not a full hospital. So where is the match on the right side to the full hospital? The top, the middle, or the bottom? 1, 2, or 3? You're right. It's the bottom. Correct.
Match the sign.
Match the sign. Okay. Whoo-hoo. This is an interesting one. So this says speed limit 50. So many of us, right, go out in cars or our school buses every day. So we see these on the streets. So I'm sure you hear and you see cars on the streets. Even if you don't go in a car every day, you can still hear and see and know what a car is. So when a car's on the street, they need to know how fast they're going. Many of times, if you're on a really fast, busy highway, you can go faster. But many other times, especially if you're on your school bus, you cannot go that fast because you're either in a community or around a school where it might be kids. So this is called a speed limit. So this tells the car and the driver how fast he or she can go. So I see two colors here. What two colors do you see? You're right, black and white. The back of the sign is white, but the letters and the numbers are black. Just like our other signs. This is important so people can see it. Okay, we do a lot of that in our classrooms. We make things that have contrast so that everyone can see what is being shown. This is important for all community and safety signs that everyone can see them. So let's do our matching. Let's go on the bottom. Okay. This is tricky. That looks like a vehicle on this bottom sign. Because it is. It's a bus, just like a school bus or a public bus. So Miss Ashley many a times will take the bus, especially when she was living in Boston, to work, right? There were many, many buses so that you don't have to use your own car, or many times Miss Ashley didn't even have a car in Boston because there's a lot of cars on the road. I didn't need it. And there was a lot of buses, which is great. Public transportation. Miss Ashley used to use these signs so I would know, where can I get on a bus? They would be on poles or different sides of the road, so I would know where to stop and a bus would come, so they would take me to where I need to go. Are these two the same signs? No, you're right. So smart. Even though they both have to do with driving or vehicles, they're not the same sign. This bus stop sign tells people where to catch the bus. The speed limit sign tells drivers how fast to go. What about this middle sign? What do you see that is similar between the big sign on the left and this middle sign on the right? I'm sure you come up with a lot of really, really great similarities, things that are the same. I'm going to tell you one I see. I see that the numbers 5 and 0 are both on the bottom here. When you put together the number 5 and 0 and you put it together for one number, the two numbers 5 and 0, you put it together for one number, it makes 50. So I absolutely see the speed limit 50 on both of these signs. So I think that's the match. But it's really important when we're looking at, especially things when we have like quizzes, that's not a quiz, but games or any type of activities where we want to have the right answer. We want to, even though we think we have the right answer, we want to look at all the options. So let's look at this top one. Oh, we know this one. This is the do not enter. We've already talked about it. The three words are do not enter, right? Those are the 3 words. The 3 words are bold, they're in white, there's red behind them to let us know, do not go in this way, stop moving forward, stop moving towards this area, it is not safe. So, what do you think? Should I press option 1, option 2, or option 3? You're right. I think option 2. Let's try it. Correct, Amundo.
Match the sign.
Oh, I don't know why that keeps scaring me. Match the sign. Friends, this will be our last one for today. Don't worry, we have many more community sign videos coming. But for today, these are good. Oh, we've already talked about this one. What do you remember about what Miss Ashley said about this sign? And even if you don't remember what Miss Ashley said, which is fine, because I talked very quickly, what do you see about this sign? I'm sure all of your answers are perfectly amazing, but I'm going to tell you what I think. So, I have a couple observations about this sign. My first observation is that it's 2 different colors. The background is green, and the figure in the middle is white. Again, this helps us see it. I also recognize the figure or the picture in the middle because when we are out in the playground together or out in the community or taking a walk outside and I hear something in the sky, we all look up and this is what we see. An airplane flying in the sky with its wings and everything. So, as we talked a little bit about before, I know that airplanes always stay at airports. So this sign lets community members know if they're close to or getting near or where an airport is. Again, that's very, very important. So now that we know a little bit more about our large sign in the middle or large sign on the left, let's look like, it's really a long day. Let's look at the signs on the right. Let's go to the bottom up. So this bottom sign, ooh. We play a game at school, red light, green light, right? Red light, stop. Green light, go. But also we have that on our communication devices with Miss Cindy many times. Red means stop, green means go. So this is a sign in the community that tells drivers or people on the road that a stoplight is coming. So when someone's driving, and you all know this when you're in a car, if someone stops, it's most of the time because there's a red light ahead of them. That means stop to be safe and let other people go. And the green means go ahead. It's your turn. This middle sign, we have not seen this middle sign before, but in this game. But we've seen this middle sign many, many times in our community and especially in our schools. This is the bathroom symbol. We know it's a bathroom symbol because it has a blue background word on the bottom. So this person in the middle, it says men for a men's room, right? So boys. So it's again the blue background and the white outline of a person because the contrast. It's very important for us to have these signs have that color contrast so we know exactly what we're looking at. And a lot of times, these signs will have Braille on the bottom, right? So community members who have more difficulty seeing from their eyes, they can read Braille on the bottom and touch it, which is awesome. Are either of these two this sign? No. Absolutely not. I don't see a plane here at all, friends. But so which one do you think it is? Option 1, option 2, or option 3? You're right, option 1. Correct.
Match the sign.
Okay, friends, we're going to pick this up next week. So, my task for you all is if you have some community signs at home to work on them. If you don't have community signs at home, community card signs at home, please ask your teacher. Please ask me. We'll make them for you. We'll mail them to you. We'll drop them off at your house so you can work with them at home. Or you could always watch this video again on the YouTube channel to make sure that you're practicing. Or you'll see them in the community. Have a nice day.